Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Hopefully, everyone could hear me and see me. Quick sound check. That would be wonderful from Beck's Bureau. Anyone? We got a very riveting presentation. Thank you. Appreciate it. We've got a very riveting presentation today. I've got another slideshow that I will be presenting in a few minutes. Just going to give people enough time to pile in here. And of course, I will be also coming out with another video for the New Moon Outlook, probably tomorrow or the following day. So look for that as well. That's going to show you the astrology and how these next couple of weeks are going to be affected by the astrology. Now, I will tell you that we have some wonderful astrology coming in at the end of this week with the new moon in Aquarius. And so this is going to be a big week ahead. And, there's so much going on. So things are coming at us so quickly that sometimes it's hard to keep up with it all. But I'm going to do my best. And again, I use astrology. I use my own intuition. I've been hearing so many things that are coming out that I have to, basically share it with you guys because that's what I do. I consider myself a messenger more than anything else. Someone whose, consciousness could see beyond the obvious and receive things from sort of a higher realm of perspective. And I share it with you guys because this is part of the Great Awakening. Now, I'm not the only one doing it. There are many others doing the same thing. But, I try and do it in my own unique perspective through astrology, through the lens of astrology, through the lens of numerology, through the symbolism of what's going on to make sense of it all. And so we are definitely in a very interesting transition right now. And so I'm going to cover some of that. I'm going to talk about Mr. T. Of course, I can't go too deep here on this platform, but I will continue this conversation in my inner circle community. And there I will dive very deep into what is really going on and who's pulling the strings. And right after this presentation, I'm going into the inner circle. So the link is down below for you folks that want to join. There's a free 7-day trial. And at the end of this presentation, I'll show you how to navigate when you get into the inner circle, how to get to the Zoom call. Now, you will need the Zoom app on your phone or on your laptop or computer to get in there, but I will show you and dive much deeper into what's going on right now. And so there, I could speak freely there. Here, I have to be careful because of the AI and the censorship that's taking place. So, but I will have a bunch of slides. I will cover some of the topics that have been going on right now and tell you what I see coming really soon. And things are going to accelerate. Believe me, this week we also have Uranus that's waking up. Uranus has been in retrograde for a bunch of months. And when Uranus wakes up, that's when it brings in more innovation and more change and more surprises. And so we've got that going on as well. This is why I call this one Shock and Surprises, because Uranus is associated with shocking surprises, revelations that come out of nowhere. And this is what we have going on. And many of us are paying attention, very close attention. And I think that's great. But those of us in the truther community, and when I say truther, friends, I mean wanting to know how this world really works, not just the political nonsense. I mean wanting to know what are we living in? Who's running the show? And this is what I dive into in the inner circle. And I've already done presentations there to my members, and I've showed them how deep the rabbit hole goes. And that's what I mean by truther. I consider myself someone that wants to know the truth no matter where it leads me. I'm not going to have any preconceived notions about this or that, or, I'm going to support people, yes, because they're part of the awakening process. But I want to know more. I want to know how this reality really works. And I have been shown this reality when I did my ayahuasca ceremonies and my magic mushroom ceremonies years ago. I was shown so much more than you could possibly imagine. And so that's the perspective I'm coming from now. And so this is the reality we're living in, and the Great Awakening is occurring on a large scale. This is just the tip of the iceberg for this Great Awakening, and we're going to see so many more changes. Anyway, I see we're almost at the 5-minute mark. I think we've got plenty of people in there, and I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to get into the presentation. Okay. So here we go. Entire screen. All right, here we are. Hopefully everyone could see that. Here's my presentation. We're going to get into it right now. We're going to start the slideshow. Let me stop it. All right, so here is the slide for today's presentation, shock and surprises. And of course, it has Washington in the background. And of course, the rocket and everything else behind it, because what's happening right now, it does involve space. And we're going to see technology coming out that's going to surprise many of us. Many things are going to come to the forefront, including the entire ET extraterrestrial topic. That is part of the shock and surprises. Many people don't understand this topic. And I'm not going to go into this show, into this presentation, but I will cover that sometime later on. Okay, so let's go on, and just a little quick review of what's been going on. I said during the inauguration, the Sun conjunct Pluto. This is a time where there is major revelations, awarenesses, and yes, surprises, because Aquarius is associated with surprises. So we've got a lot of that going on. Okay, so it didn't disappoint. The alignments did not disappoint. So this is part of the Great Awakening. Pluto in Aquarius is awakening humanity to the truth, no matter where it takes us. Some of it's going to be ugly. Some of it's not going to make any sense. Some of it's going to point at political leaders, actors, performers, people that we cherish and value. Okay, so you've got to have a strong stomach through this time for some of the stuff that's going to continue to come out. The inauguration, on Inauguration Day, I pointed out how it was going to be very important. And again, Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, is all full of surprises. And this has a lot to do with Taurus. Taurus has to do with belief systems. So during this inauguration, the surprises that came out had to do with value systems. It exposed certain people's value system. Of course, we see that Pluto is sitting at the top of the chart, which again will be here for a long time in Aquarius. And so I said that we're going to have things from the past that resurface. Mars in retrograde in Cancer. So this is going to be a continuation, and we're continuing to see it. Now, one of the things that surprised a lot of people, not really for those of us that know what's going on, and many of you viewers, but this is for the newbies. And I get a lot of newbies, and I get a lot of newbie questions over and over again. You know, the Biden crime family, they literally showed their true colors. And they, pardoned, preemptive pardons nonetheless, for family members and these criminals over here. Okay, why would you issue preemptive pardons if you have nothing to hide? So I want you to make note of these people here. This is the deep state. You're looking at the deep state that runs Washington or has been influencing it. And by the way, these are the puppets. They're being told what to do by somebody above them. Okay, but these are the main players that got the pardons, the preemptive pardons. And, we're going to see what happens with them. There's a lot of speculation and talk about this criminal right here. And, Russia is negotiating something, some sort of peace deal, and he is a part of this negotiation. In other words, they want to send him over there. And I think it's a great idea. They could take this guy too. Okay. But I'm just saying this, I'm just showing you. And of course, this guy who basically disgraced himself. But anyway, I'm just showing you what's been going on, and we're just reviewing some of this stuff. Some of you know it. For some of you newbies, these are the people that have the preemptive pardon. Okay, Fauci, Milley, and the J6 committee, all of them that were on it got preemptive pardons, and I'm like, nobody was charged with anything. So why are you preempting them? Of course, this is to guard against the revenge by Trump. And believe me, it's coming. It may not be in a way that everyone thinks. Okay, it may be things financially related or so on, but also I'm going to be talking about the inauguration and Melania's outfit, especially this, okay, and why it's important, and for you guys to understand what is really going on here. I know I get a lot of people that really don't understand what's happening. And so I will go into that. So let's cover that. Let's go into it right now. Okay. So here we see in 2017, Melania's wearing nice, soft blue colors. And then all of a sudden, during this inauguration, she's got this dark sort of outfit on. Some say it's black, some say it's dark blue. Doesn't really matter. It's symbolic of something that's going on here. the white band around the hat, and especially the hat. It's like a serious tone here. There's an obvious, and for those of you that do body language readings and so on, you know what I'm talking about. You understand this. It's all symbolism. And so she's got this serious tone. She's sending a message, a powerful message. But who is she sending this message to? This is what we have to understand, friends. Okay, here she's all excited. She's feeling the excitement of being elected and being a part of something new. And here she's deep into it and going, okay, this is serious business. We are going to take charge. But this hat represents so much more, okay, especially with the white. The white is purity. The white is something new coming in to being. And so here we see, and I posted this on social media, and it just blew up the social media platforms because this is what's been going on behind the scenes. And I applaud all of you truth seekers and those of you that have gone down the rabbit hole that saw the same thing that I was seeing, that, man, this hat awfully resembles that brim right there and what's going on here. For those of you that don't know, this is a Guy Fawkes mask. This was a real person that existed, I believe it was in the 1600s or so, that went up against the government and was trying to fight it, and it was killed for it. But there's a wonderful explanation in all this in this movie, V for Vendetta. If you haven't seen it, okay, it is very good. It's a very good movie, one of my favorites, because it has to do with this guy that is getting back at the government that did and tortured him and, did some nasty things to its people. And so this is what that movie's all about. It's not for everybody. At the beginning, it's like a weird movie, but then you got to watch the whole thing through and to understand what this movie was really all about. It's based on a comic book that was written years ago. So a lot of symbolism here, a lot of similarities to it's going on in society in these last bunch of years. And again, I'm going to talk about more of this in my inner circle community right after this presentation. But this is what the Guy Fawkes mask was representing. It's about freedom, it's about rebellion, and so on and so forth. You could watch the movie yourself. Very popular movie. All right. So you got to understand what symbolism is, friends, and why it's so important. For example, the color red symbolizes love, and the color black symbolizes death. Now, what kind of death are we talking about here? Physical death? No, not necessarily. Maybe, we don't know. But death is a transformation. Pluto is in Aquarius, transforming society. If you understand the symbolism of Pluto, Pluto is the underworld, the death of the psyche at the deepest level. And Aquarius has to do with humanity and its future. It has to do with the collective consciousness of the world. Okay. So when you have this transit going on astrologically, it will bring in many surprises. It will bring in startling revelations and awarenesses, and it will continue to slowly destroy, if you will, or cause a lot of death in people's minds, in their belief systems, in their way of life. That's what we're witnessing. And so this is just the beginnings of it, friends. Now, what does that mean? I mean, I know a lot of you are big Mr. T supporters, and I'm supporting him as well. I'm not saying I'm against the guy. I am supporting what he's doing. And I said this before, for those of you that are new, that haven't heard me before, I said, I support him for one reason, is that he was chosen to reveal or unveil a lot of the corruption. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't know who the players are. It doesn't mean that he's part of a bigger picture, that he's got people behind him that are also twisting his arm and saying, you must do this for me, you must do that for us. And he's doing that too. And again, I will cover that in the inner circle community after this presentation, the Zoom call. So you folks that are new or curious, you might want to head over to this Zoom call today and understand what's really going on at a deeper level, because it's very important to understand this part of the equation. And I cannot talk about it here. Believe me, I cannot talk about this, who's behind all of this. But anyway, symbolism is extremely important. Why? And somebody posted this in our community, and thank you so much for posting this. They posted, in chess, the king deploys the queen to destroy his enemies. This is so fitting for what's going on right now. Okay. The queen is playing a role. That's Melania. She's playing a role of symbolism. To who? It's to us, friends. It's to the collective consciousness. It's to the matrix. It's to the energy, the source of symbolism. You've got to understand this. This is what I implore, that I was shown that this reality is based on energy, intent, vibration. And when you put out symbolism, you're putting out a certain vibration that people pick up on. Do you understand? Colors are very important. And so here, what Melania's outfit represents is predictive programming. In other words, when you put out that symbol or that energy or that color or that intent with the brim hat that sort of symbolically represents the Guy Fawkes mask and V for Vendetta, it's telling the world and the consciousness of the people watching going, uh-oh, something major is about to happen. Major changes are coming. We are serious about these changes. We are going to make this happen with or without you. We are intent on doing this. And you could see she's playing her role as a messenger into the collective consciousness. That's what she was doing. Okay, from a totally symbolic, psychological standpoint, that's what she was doing, sending a very powerful message to those paying attention. That means the controllers and the deep state, as well as the AI running everything, okay, and the people, more importantly, the people. And believe me, this predictive programming has been going on for years. If you go down the rabbit hole like I have for about almost 30 years now, you will see the same thing or come to the same exact conclusions that I have and so many others. So many other truthers have come to. That something is systematically, and I'm pointing to things because I got to be careful what I say here, are pointing to things and people and situations that are controlling this narrative. The media, the politicians, the bankers, the religious organizations are all under the influence of this. Okay, you've got to understand this. And they do it by programming society. And all they need is a majority of the people to go along with their program. And this is why they do this. They have been doing it in movies. They do it on advertisements. They do it on television shows. How many times has this program got things accurate, way ahead of its time? And here are just a couple of examples. In 2000, there was an episode where Mr. T was going down an escalator. It actually happened in 2015. What are they doing? Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again for you newbies. They have the technology to see into the future, okay? And I'm not going to mention the name of that program, okay? It's looking, and what do you drink water in? What do you put water in to drink? So looking, and that object that you put in, to drink water. That's the project, the name of it. And they've got other ones. Pegasus is another name that they used. So they see, it's basically a sophisticated AI program that calculates every possible output or scenario that could possibly exist. And it does it at an incredible speed. And then it sees the most likely outcome. This is why this program is being spoon-fed these episodes that they have to be specific, because they're getting it into the consciousness of humanity. Do you not see that, friends? Now, some of you may think this is all crazy nonsense. It's not, when you understand how reality really works. Okay. And this is where, the great divide occurs in humanity, because you have people, I would say about 70% of the population that has the blinders on. I see this religion and I'm going to follow it. I see this politician, I'm going to follow them. I see, this belief system, and I'm going to just stay here. But then there are those of us that are like, don't have the blinders on. And all we want to know is, what is this reality? Who am I in this physical suit having this experience? You follow? And I've been doing that my entire life. And there's so many of us that have been doing the same thing. We don't care about titles. We don't care about organizations that control humanity. We want to know what the ultimate truth is. And when you go down this rabbit hole, like I have and so many others, you begin to see that something has been controlling humanity, whether it's an AI, a simulation, or some extraterrestrials that are pulling the strings. Yes, that's the conclusion that many of us have come to. And it's a realistic one. It's not one made out of fairy tales and woo-woo stuff that's out there that, that people think are crazy. I'm saying this to you guys because I'm trying to prepare you for what's coming. This information will become mainstream, as it already is with a lot of the younger generation. They understand this. They see through all this. So this is part of the predictive programming that's taking place. So when Melania has a black outfit with a rib hat, she's sending a message. She's trying to create an energy that says, we're going to take you down. Okay? So, but they're playing their role as well. Remember, friends, I've said this, I've pointed it out, I've showed you the examples. Some sort of military intelligence operation is being run right now. Now, let's see where it goes. I'm all for it. As long as they continue to expose, they continue to remove obstacles. But I'm not an idiot. I could see who's pulling the strings behind them too. So again, I'm cautiously optimistic about the future. I will always pay attention to what's going on and support those that are part of the awakening process. Okay, whether it's Mr. T or other people or other organizations. But again, if I start seeing things that I make no sense and I have to start questioning, I will question it. I don't care who it is. You understand? So that's what's going on. But remember, there is some sort of military intelligence operation that is happening right now worldwide. Now, of course, Mr. T has made, speeches talking about globalism and how we're going to reject it and so on. And I'm all for that. And it's wonderful speech. And it's wonderful to understand that. And I do believe he is absolutely trying to rebuild the United States and trying to distance itself from this powerful globalist agenda. Okay. He's trying his best, but he still has deep attachments. Okay. And you guys know what I'm talking about. He has very deep attachments to other organizations that are also looking to profit from this new sort of, patriotism. So you've got to understand that. All right. Well, will it benefit humanity? I don't know. We'll see in the long term. But again, I'm going to support what he's doing and what he's saying about distancing himself. But the best thing here is he's exposing globalism. He's exposing the major aspect of these groups and organizations that have been controlling the world. All right. He's talked about this at the CPAC meetings and all this other stuff, how, globalism is destroying. Yes, yes, yes. But is he really? I mean, he's not a foolish man. He knows what's going on. Are they trying to destroy the system in order to rebuild something else that's more controlling? That's my question to you folks. You've got to listen to this. You've got to pay attention because all the evidence is there. Okay. Now, why do I say this? Remember this guy, Trudeau? He's the guy that wrote those late night books and had those infomercials back in, I believe it's the 90s. He had this one and he had this book, The Natural Cures. But I want to focus on this. Now, why is this guy important? Because in the 90s, when I was going down the rabbit hole, this guy was doing telecast shows and talking. And he said basically when he became a billionaire, he was worth $3.3 billion at one point, he said, in his own words. And he said that he got invited to all these parties in Monaco, and he started meeting some very elite people, some very big names in the globalism market and so on. And he said they have an agenda. They know what they're doing. They're going to be about, they're always ahead, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ahead. They're always planning ahead. But the one thing that really stood out when he said that they told him to stop doing these infomercials about banking and about the health stuff, and because we don't want that, it goes against our agenda. And he didn't listen. He was stubborn. He did not listen. So they went after him. They basically sent the feds to him and they fined him $170 million. The first time ever that a private business owner has been fined $170 million. This is what happens when you go against these globalists, okay, with their agenda. But more importantly, what he said, and I want you to listen carefully. And if you could find that interview, fantastic. And maybe he could, I don't know if he still does a radio show. He said, what I noticed was there are many different factions in these high-level meetings and organizations. There are many of them that want people to be free, that want them to, get away from this control mechanism. Then you have the old guard that's controlling everything. He said that there was so much infighting between so many different powerful factions about how to control the population, how to move forward in the future. Now, this is in the early 90s. Okay. That really sent a major alarm bell in my mind that there are good people in these high level places that are fighting against the system. Now, Mr. T can be one of them. Yes, I do believe that he is. But he also has people behind him that are backing him that want something from him. Okay, so this is what you have to understand, friends. It's not like Mr. T is doing his own thing here right now. And there are people like this that were brave enough to come forward. And by the way, they took away all his money. They fined him. They sent him to jail, this guy right here. So he goes from $3.3 billion and hobnobbing with the wealthy elite to basically, this is what they do. They take everything away from you and they destroy your name. And he's lucky to be alive. Let's put it that way. So anyway, this is one of the guys that really turned my perspective in the early 90s when he started talking about this stuff. All right. So let's get to some of these executive orders that Mr. T is doing, which I am all in favor for. And I think he needs to do this because, again, they're trying to take down obstacles, blocks, and things that are hindering progress in the United States. Okay. So one of the major ones that I clap in my hands getting us out of this criminal entity in this organization. For those of you that have been following me a while, I've been talking about this almost 2 years now. For those newbies, I have absolutely talked about this criminal organization. They're trying to control humanity. All right. He signed another executive order, basically removing, declassifying all of this about Mr. JFK and MLK, which is great, wonderful. Some of the people on the left hate him for this because it's exposing a lot of the corruption. But let's continue. He also, I love this one. He removed the security for Fauci and some of these other deep staters, which I think is great. So keep going. He also ordered a blackout at these organizations right here. To help prepare for this was the article, MAGA Bloodbath. We'll see what happens there. Very possible. He's doing a lot of cutting of the fat in these federal agencies. But this is what I want to focus on. And I will continue this conversation in the inner circle right after this. Okay. This one is very concerning. This is from the Reese report. You could go to Substack and you could see this video for yourself. I did post it on my social media. AI grid and this bullshit over here, okay, announcement as Trump makes this announcement on his second day. So you got Larry Ellison, Sam Altman, and some other very wealthy individual here. I don't remember his name, sorry. But he basically is trying to create an AI system now that involves this garbage right here. Now, I got to ask you folks, common sense wise, does this make any sense? Why are all these tech billionaires getting involved in this, in the medical field? Why? You've got to ask this question, okay? And this is the only conclusion that many of us have come to, and this is a major concern. Yes, Mr. T wants to create this major space force with an AI system that is running everything. And to a certain extent, we may have to do that, but some of us don't really want to do that because it's a control mechanism. So this is one that we are questioning left and right. As much as I support Mr. T, we have to question everything, no matter who they are. I said question. That doesn't mean hate. That doesn't mean not support. That means question. Question everything. Okay, and some have speculated, well, it's to expose the corruption. It's to expose who the players are. Yes, that's possible. And I'm not saying it's not. But the deeper connections are a little alarming, okay? Because what they really want to do here is, through AI, link us up through those injections to alter our DNA. Now, does that sound freaking normal to anyone? Now, these are not the only guys that want to do it. Ellison's been talking about it. Bill Gates has been talking about it. I mean, they're just so brazen about it. They just talk about it. They don't really care. But does this seem natural to anyone? Does this seem like something that would benefit humanity right now? I don't think so, friends. So this is what we truthers are alarmed about. This is the major concern that we have. And you're asking, what the hell is going on? For you newbies, you better start waking up. This is part of these surprises that are coming in. This is some of the startling information that's going to continue to come out. If you're not paying attention, it's going to slap you upside the head. Okay? Now, you want to watch and listen to what this guy has in store? Go to this on YouTube. This is the channel, and put in this right here and listen to him talking about for 2 minutes about how this is great and how we're going to cure all the sickness in the world and all this other stuff. If you believe that, friends, I have a bridge I want to sell you in Wyoming. Okay? Because don't believe the lie. They are setting up a control system, friends. Okay? And Mr. T appears to be a part of it. So again, I'm supporting what he's doing, but the stuff behind the scenes, it makes no sense to us. Like, why is this happening? Is it just to expose it, or is there a larger agenda? Again, I'm no idiot, and you folks are not either. You've got to question all of this. What are they doing? That's all I'm asking. What are they doing? And so this is why it's very important right now not to have the blinders on. Oh, I love Mr. T. Oh, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Oh, another one is baby Jesus is going to save me, or this Messiah is going to save me. Friends, you got to take the blinders off. That's what this time is about. It's going to change your belief systems. That's all I'm doing here. I'm trying to get you to see the bigger picture. You believe what you want. You believe what you want. It's your reality. But I'm telling you, there's a larger agenda at stake here. Okay. So, and I'm seeing this all over the platforms. Okay. So, we're all the truth in their heads going, what the hell is he doing? This seems retarded. Okay. This is just one. Okay. And you could read it for yourself here. This is why DJT is retarded at times with this take on shit. Letting the transhumanists do with AI is a recipe for disaster. I can't say no. But thankfully, those who took the jab and screwed themselves hopefully will be wiser than to rely on any big tech CEO for any solutions. I can't disagree with this, friends. And so this is why we have to question everything and everyone. All right. That's my my take on it. All right. So again, here's another, Nicholas Anthony wrote a book about it, digital currency or digital control. Sure is looking like the digital control to me. And I'm not the only one saying it. Here is the Future Forecasting Group, which I have great respect for. They have done some wonderful stuff. And of course, they have an agenda as well, trying to get people in their group. But this one, the transition to a new financial system, you need to listen to it. It's only 8 minutes long. Okay, it's on the Future Forecasting Group. Listen to it. This was told to him a bunch of years ago by insiders, by globalists, by whoever's behind it. They have an agenda. All right. And he's not the only one. This guy's been talking about it for years. He's been talking about what they have in store. And this is on Rumble. All right. You could go there. This is on the Great Reset. They will use digital currency to control us. Katherine Austin Fitz, love her. She used to work for the government until they threw her under the bus. And now she's coming to the same conclusion. But her brilliance is she's a financial analyst. And she used to work on Wall Street. And she was in government under the HUD administration. And she talks about how central banks plan to control you. You've got to listen. And this, one of my favorite reporters, for those of you that have gone down the rabbit hole, Whitney is a brilliant, and I mean brilliant reporter. She has written about and has talked about and makes the connections unlike anyone else. She tells you who those CEOs are, what they're actually doing, who they run, who they control. I mean, everything. I've listened to her for years. I've read some of her stuff. It is brilliant. And here is another interview if you want to watch it. The End of the World as We Know It. What have I been saying for years? It's the end of the world as we know it. And so here is Peter McCormick. You could go there, watch. I don't have links. You have to take screenshots and then put this into YouTube and watch it. Anything from her is just brilliant. So I highly suggest that. She's one of the young guns. She's one of these younger people that have come in and is trying to wake humanity up to what's really going on. And again, some of it's going to shock you, some of it's going to surprise you to see who the players are. Now, if you don't believe me, okay. Now, this was on Instagram, and I don't have a feed for it. It's on this here, Illuminating News and Illuminating Eye. If you go to Instagram, you have an Instagram account, see if you could find this this reel, okay? Because Thailand is already rolling out that CBDC. And for those of you that don't know what that means, central bank digital currency. That means that they are giving away free money. And that's what she says here, $14 billion, giving away $14 billion to the Thailand people. But they have to sign up. They have to register. They have to be in the system. This is criminal, friends, because it is not backed by anything. There is no, gold or silver. There's nothing. This is what the globalists want on a worldwide scale. They want to control everything you do, every move you make. They want it in the AI, and they want to control it all. But this short video, I think it's a short reel, only about 2 minutes long. If you could find it on Instagram, this is the people there. It's a short video. She talks about what they're doing, how they're rolling it out already. So if you think that this is hogwash and it's phony, they always like to do trial runs in these third world countries. And nothing against Thailand people, but it's so much easier to control these regions. So they do it here, they do it in other places to see how it plays itself out. But believe me, this is what they want worldwide. They want a worldwide rollout of this garbage. Okay. And this is what David has been talking about. So anyway, but again, Mr. T continues to surprise us. He has the SEC drops a major bombshell here, making it legal now for the SEC and banks to own cryptocurrencies. Okay. So it shows that he's definitely for a new system of some kind. Again, we'll have to keep an eye on it, see what it all means, see where it's all going, friends. But this also came out on the Securities and Exchange Commission, a summary account bulletin, rescinding the interpretive guidance, including Section FFF of Topic 5 in Staffing Accounting Bulletin. In other words, they're changing the accounting obligations to safeguard crypto assets and entities holding it for its platform users. In other words, they're recognizing that crypto is a real asset and that banks can hold it on their books. So this is a bulletin that came out, very important, because this is what this is what the big banks want. The big banks want a seat at the table in this new AI technology that they want to control. Okay? That's how it works. If we had real crypto, like it was intended to be, the Bitcoin, peer-to-peer, meaning you and me exchange value by exchanging coins without the middleman, but the big criminal banks want their seat at the table. So what are they doing? Since they can't control all the crypto, they are trying to control the companies that sell the cryptos, like Coinbase and Binance and all these other companies. They're forcing them through the arm of the federal government to regulate Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies. And they want to know everything. They want to know who's signing up, and they're passing legislations on that. Okay, because they have a bigger agenda, friends. Okay, so I want you to understand what's really happening here. The White House does something really interesting here, and this is from their White House website. Accept the content. Let's see, prohibition of central bank digital currency. So they're saying that we're not going to have a CBDC. Okay, CBDC, yeah. And so again, it's very conflicting, the news and the information. On the one hand, he's allowing Larry Ellison and Sam Altman to create this AI system. And at the same time, he's removing barriers and obstacles to CBDC. So what is actually going on here? Is he playing this 5D chess? Is there a larger, system that's going to be in place that benefits just the United States through Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies? Because that's what he's talked about, you see. And again, this is part of the surprises that are coming out. And so we have to pay attention to this. So on the White House, he's prohibiting any formation of centralized digital currencies from the bank. So maybe he's countering it. Let's see, friends. Okay. On a different note, I want you to pay attention to this. Somebody sent me this, and then I started looking into it. And this is on a different topic. And this was from X, Phoenix beware, because Progressive Insurance is canceling all insurance policies in the Phoenix area or in high wildfire risk areas. Now, this is very telling here, okay? And this is for these 15-minute garbage here. This is also the area that Bill Gates owns 30,000 acres of land in southern Arizona. Very interesting, okay? Now, this is very suspicious. And so this is the actual Progressive newsletter, excuse me, the email that they sent out. Your policy will expire at 12:01 a.m. on 2/15/2025 for the following reason. And it basically states because of your area being a high risk fire, risk area, and is not eligible for insurance anymore. So this is for Phoenix. Okay, this is American Strategic Insurance and Company, and they sent this out to almost all their policyholders. Now, this is also another one that is being posted. People in Prescott were getting the same information, so they're warning again in Prescott. And this, I'm not going to say the word right there. Is this coming to Arizona? Both Phoenix and Arizona area and Prescott area insurance canceled. And of course, these smart cities and so on and so forth. Again, it's all speculative, but we're going to have to see what actually happens in the next couple of weeks or in the next couple of months if this actually takes place. And why am I saying this? Because what was going on here in California months before the fires? Do we see this? Sounds alarm after insurance companies remove. Okay. Do we see a similarity here, friends? Do we see something being planned here? So I'm just saying for friends in the Phoenix, Prescott area, pay attention. This is one of the warning signs. Why are they taking away your fire insurance? Okay. Do they have some agenda? I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there, showing you the possibilities, friends. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but this could be one of the startling surprises. Remember, I said about 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, watch Arizona and Texas. These states are going to be very pivotal in the years to come. And so let's see what happens. I hope it doesn't happen, but now you've been warned. Okay. So anyway, this is my inner circle. It's got a 7-day free trial. So if you stand by for a few minutes, I'm going to show you how to navigate and how to get into the inner circle right now. And of course, in that inner circle, I have extended monthly horoscopes. I do the weekly horoscopes, really not really horoscopes, but an overview. I teach astrology. Every week we do a Zoom call on Sunday. There's mentorship because people could ask me questions about their chart, about whatever they want to know. You want to know about the conspiracy stuff? I will tell you. I've done presentations on this in the inner circle, stuff that I cannot talk about here. And so you're connecting with like-minded souls. So click on the link down below to get in. So once you get in and you sign up, you're going to get to this page right here. And you're going to go to the top and you're going to see the calendar and you're going to click on that calendar. Okay. And it'll take you to the calendar and you'll see they're highlighted the dates. Every Sunday we do a Zoom call. You'll click on that date, which is today's date. And then you will see the Zoom connection right here. And you will click on that Zoom link. And again, you have to have Zoom. So have Zoom opened before you do this. And you'll click on the link and you will join the conversation. That's how it works, because I got quite a few people that ask me, how do I get to your Zoom call? How do I get to your Zoom call? And that's how you do it, friends. Okay. So once again, you go in, once you sign up for the 7-day free trial, or if you want to become a member, which I highly suggest, click on the calendar, go to the calendar, click on the 26th, and then click on the Zoom call. All right. That's how you do it. Anyway, let me stop this presentation. We got a minute or so. I'll just wind it up. So let me go here. Hold on, guys. Let me stop. Go here. X out of the sharing screen. There we are. Back on. All right. So we have a lot to think about here, don't we, friends? All right. So I've shown you the possibilities. I've shown you what the connections are to these criminal entities and organizations. And I'm just, again, my message here to everyone, and I appreciate all of you. I really do, because you're waking up, or many of you know a lot of what I know, and you're starting to see the connection. So please take the blinders off and be brave enough to say, wherever this takes me, I'm going to look at it with an honest, open view. I'm going to support people that are doing some good things, yes, but I'm also going to be very skeptical about people that are doing some things that are not so good. Okay, so that's the big takeaway here from this presentation today. So I want you to remember that, friends. Okay, so I appreciate all of you. I'm going to be on in 15 minutes in the Zoom call, so give you guys that want to join enough time to get in there. And I will see many of you in the Zoom call. So thank you so much. I have another video coming out in a couple of days on the new moon outlook. I will go deeper into the astrology there. Anyway, have a great Sunday, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.